Have you ever wondered about the impact of TikTok on our mental health? This has become more pertinent than ever, as the popularity of this social media platform continues to skyrocket. With a colossal user base that surpassed 1 billion monthly users in September 2021, TikTok has become an integral part of our digital lives. But at what cost? Recently, a group of state attorneys general, spearheaded by representatives from California to Vermont, have taken the initiative to investigate TikTok's influence on children's mental health. Their mission? To uncover what TikTok might have known about the potential risks to its young users and whether the company has violated state consumer protection laws. Critics have raised concerns about TikTok's algorithm, pointing out that its influence on young users could be more profound than we might imagine. In response, TikTok has implemented safety measures like the Family Safety Mode and bolstered privacy settings for its younger users. However, the question remains, are these measures enough to safeguard the mental health of our children? This investigation is not an isolated incident. It follows in the wake of a broader scrutiny of social media platforms, with figures as influential as President Biden advocating for holding these platforms accountable for their impact on children. As we delve deeper into the impact of TikTok, we find that the effects are not just limited to children. Whether it's the teenager scrolling through dance challenges or the adult absorbed in a DIY tutorial, the extent of TikTok's reach in our lives is undeniable. And with that reach comes a responsibility that we are only now beginning to understand. This information is based on a compilation of studies from Reuters, The Wall Street Journal, and the American Psychological Association. How are lawmakers responding to the concerns about TikTok and mental health? It's a question that's on many minds as the impact of social media on mental health continues to be a hot topic. In Ohio, lawmakers have taken a unique approach to the issue. Rather than focusing solely on regulation, they're trying to shift the balance of how young people spend their time. A bill has been passed that allows high school students to work longer hours year-round, extending the current limits from 7 in the evening to 9. The goal? To provide students with more opportunities to earn money and reduce time spent on social media platforms like TikTok. The legislation is a response to growing concerns about the negative impact of excessive social media use on teenagers' mental health. It's a proactive step, encouraging young people to engage in activities that contribute positively to their development and well-being, rather than spending hours scrolling through social media feeds. But Ohio's legislative response doesn't stop there. Governor Mike has proposed a Social Media Parental Notification Act. This act would require parental approval for children under 16 to sign up for social media accounts. It's a measure aimed at giving parents more control over their children's online activities and potentially their exposure to harmful content. These legislative responses indicate a growing awareness among lawmakers of the potential risks associated with social media use. It's not just about TikTok, but about the wider impact of these platforms on the mental health of young users. However, it's important to note that these steps are just part of the solution. TikTok itself has also introduced new policies to limit users' screen time, particularly for those under 18. It's a sign that the company is taking some responsibility for the welfare of its users, although the effectiveness of these measures remains to be seen. It's clear that lawmakers are taking the issue seriously, but what happens when TikTok is no longer an option? That's a question we'll delve into in our next scene. All the information provided is sourced from credible news articles and reports on the subject. For more details, stay tuned for the next scene. What would a world without TikTok look like? And how would it impact our mental health? Envision this for a moment, a digital landscape without the ubiquitous presence of TikTok. It's hard to imagine, isn't it? Yet this is a reality that came to pass in Hong Kong after the discontinuation of TikTok in 2020. The result? A fascinating glimpse into a potential future without this social media giant. In the wake of TikTok's departure, an interesting phenomenon unfolded. A void was left in its wake, a void that was quickly filled by other platforms like Instagram Reels. But it wasn't just about finding a new platform to share content. This shift prompted users to explore new passions, providing a refreshing change of pace from the relentless rhythm of TikTok's algorithm. The impact of this shift on mental health is worth noting. The fast-paced, addictive nature of TikTok, while entertaining, has been linked to increased anxiety and decreased attention spans. With its absence, many users reported an improvement in their mental well-being. The constant pressure to keep up with trends and the fear of missing out, which can be all-consuming on TikTok, was replaced with a sense of calm and control over their own digital consumption. Yet it wasn't just about individual mental health. Departure of TikTok also impacted the community at large. Some young people found a sense of purpose and community outside of TikTok. With the noise of the endless scroll silenced, they were able to forge deeper connections and engage in more meaningful interactions. Of course, this doesn't mean that all social media platforms are inherently harmful, or that TikTok is the sole catalyst for these issues. However, it does highlight the importance of mindful consumption and the potential benefits of diversifying our digital diets. So, what does this mean for a potential TikTok-less future? It's hard to say. Social media, like any tool, can be both beneficial and detrimental depending on how we use it. But Hong Kong's experience shows us that change, while initially daunting, can open up new possibilities for growth and connection. It seems that a world without TikTok might not be as bleak as we imagine. All this information is based on reports from The Guardian and South China Morning Post. So, is TikTok a villain or a hero in the story of our mental health? This is the question we've been trying to answer, and it's clear that there's no simple response. TikTok, like any social media platform, can have both positive and negative effects on our mental health. On one hand, the app has been criticized for its potential to negatively impact the mental health of its users, especially the younger ones. This has prompted legislative responses, such as the investigation by several state attorneys general and the proposed Social Media Parental Notification Act in Ohio. On the flip side, TikTok has made attempts to address these concerns by implementing safety measures like the Family Safety Mode and strengthened privacy settings for its younger users. The platform has also introduced new policies to limit screen time, particularly for those under 18. Looking towards a future without TikTok, the experiences of Hong Kong, post the app's discontinuation, suggest that other platforms may fill the void, but the concerns over mental health effects of social media use remain. While it's clear that TikTok has its drawbacks, it's also evident that it's making efforts to address these concerns. The impact of TikTok on our mental health is a complex issue. It's one that we should continue to explore and discuss. This information comes to you from carefully researched sources, including scholarly journals, news articles, and expert interviews. We strive to you the most comprehensive and accurate information on this topic.